There she is, Cris Cyborg, Justino, the former Strikeforce featherweight champion. What a career she has had. Former Invicta FC featherweight champion, 20 straight victories. She has that aura. A lot of people have called her the Mike Tyson of women's MMA. She does a phenomenal job with charity, with children. She's always giving back. She's very active on social media. She's one of those old school fighters in the sense that she loves to, have sponsors and the after party. She's still sticking with all of that. And earlier this morning, we saw her successfully weigh in. She's one of the fighters who, in many respects, benefited from the location change because she does live in Southern California. Here she is earlier this morning, weighing in at 144 pounds. Of course, she has had her issues with weighing in the past. We remember when she was trying to move down to 135 for that super fight against Ronda Rousey. She made it to 140, but it was not easy. It was a very scary sight. Certainly more natural for her to fight at featherweight. She is the face of the women's featherweight division, but as I said earlier, she is approaching the end of her UFC contract. Her contract expires in March of 2019. Here she is fighting Amanda Nunes. She wanted to be more active this year. She wanted to fight back in September, but Nunes was banged up, and so they moved the fight to the end of the year. And here she is, Amanda Nunes, coming off that win back in May against Raquel Pennington. The controversial fight in the sense that Pennington wanted out going into the 5th round. Her team wanted her to stay. That was a much talked about moment afterwards, but there was no denying the fact that Amanda Nunes won that fight and deserved to win that fight. She won it via TKO in the 5th round. She is the #2 pound for pound best fighter consensus-wise in women's MMA, and there's a tale of the tape, if you will, not your traditional tale of the tape, but some interesting factoids, if you will, about both Amanda Nunes and Cris Cyborg, proud Brazilian fighters. Amanda Nunes training out of the American Top Team gym, and Cris Cyborg, of course, a product of the Jason Perillo team, which has been doing very well as of late. They squared off yesterday after the contentious press conference here in Los Angeles, although between them, no real fireworks in terms of answers, but their stare downs have been very good leading up to this fight. No love lost between these two. You can see the size difference right there. Cris Cyborg definitely bigger, definitely taller, but Amanda Nunes is not backing down. I recall when Amanda Nunes first came on the scene, and you see them looking at each other, the stares lingering. I remember when Amanda Nunes came on the scene and fought at 145, and I think she defeated Julia Budd in a matter of seconds. People said, that's the one who's going to take down Cris Cyborg. And of course, she ended up fighting at 135. What did you make of that size difference?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was going to ask you the same question. With Cyborg in heels there, there's no way she's that much taller than Amanda Nunes, right?
I don't remember. I think she was in heels.
I feel like she was in heels. But yes, you can see the whole frame, just the skeletal structure of her. She is bigger than Amanda Nunes. And she's bigger than everybody, and it always plays a factor. I mean, I thought Holly Holm came in at the end of last year with the right skill set, the right game plan, executed it fairly well, and still couldn't win that fight just because Cyborg did not respect her power. This fight may be different because Amanda cracks harder than Holly, but I think from a stylistic matchup, Holly was the worst matchup, was a worse matchup for Cyborg than Amanda is. So I'm certainly not counting her out, but yeah, I mean, sometimes it's as simple as looking at those two squaring off and saying Cyborg's just too big for her.
And here's what I would like off of Brett's point, because I really look up and admire Holly Holm as a competitor. She is a gal who can come in as a favorite, as even money, or as we saw with Ronda, a 7-to-1 underdog. She can fight on home soil, she can go to foreign soil, but she brings her skills with her. Now, whatever happens after that happens, but she never gets defeated in the locker room. I don't suggest to you that she got defeated in the locker room against Cris Cyborg, but I will tell you, as great of a striker as Holly is, she stayed an inch out of range at all times. She was throwing punches in there, they would just miss. If she would have just been an inch closer. The other side of that, Brett, is if she gets an inch closer, now, boom, she's going to have to take Cyborg's big power. The one thing I want as a fan, I want to see Amanda come across that ring. I want to see Amanda touch Cyborg in the face with some of that power and see how that she will deal with it. There was a fight, Ronda Rousey versus Sarah McMahon. Ronda being the Olympic bronze medalist in judo, Sarah McMahon being the Olympic freestyle silver medalist. I really want to see these gals wrestle. They finally locked up. And that's when Ronda Rousey threw that knee to the liver. Sarah McMahon went down and the fight was over. As a fan, I was so disappointed. I want to see that moment. I want to see how that grappling between the judo and the wrestler was going to go. I bring that up because I really want to see how can Cyborg deal with the adversity of somebody like Amanda that's sticking those powerful punches in her face. And as long as I get that, whatever happens afterwards, I will feel as a fan, I got what I came to see.
And you know what's fun about this fight, guys? And I'm thinking about this because we have our award show coming up on Monday night on ESPN2 live from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Eastern. I feel like the title for Women's Fighter of the Year is on the line as well. It's been wide open. I think if Amanda Nunes wins this fight, she's the Female Fighter of the Year.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Valentina Shevchenko might. No, you disagree?
Oh, I 100% do agree. I don't think there's any room for discussion.
If Cyborg wins, it might be Valentina Shevchenko who wins the award. If Cyborg knocks her out in a minute, I think she might win. They've all fought twice this year, but I think that's a little fun wrinkle going into this fight as well.
I think that was very fun, except I would strongly, and as strong a terms as I can use, tell you there is no discussion. Whoever wins this fight is not only the greatest of the year, the greatest of the night, the greatest of all time is on the line.
Okay. Wow.
Best of the year is fun, but the stakes are so
bigger,
much higher. This is a meaningful fight, Ariel.
Yes,
People
absolutely.
have sucked the air out of the room because of the drama. If this was the main event and it got the due and the story that it deserves, this is a tremendous contest.
Let's
For
talk
me,
to
this
Sean
is
Shelby
a main
about
event
it,
fight.
who made it. Sean, do you want to talk about the female fight?
Sean, we're live.
We're live. Sean Shelby put together.
We're live on a little thing called ESPN, Sean.